Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Deadman JB, Jerman B, or whatever I call myself nowadays. I think that's how it goes. Deary Testament in the building. Hopefully y'all doing phenomenal today. We had a very good, fun, and special video today. We're gonna be ranking all of the DPS specs, tank specs, and healing specs in this video today. Just talk about which ones are the best parsing wise. In terms of SWTOR content, I'm going to primarily prioritize it toward PvP. So if you want that good, like just single target burst damage, or even like AoE burst damage, they're all going to go in the same category for their speciality. So if one class is really good at just getting out that damage single target, and another class does very well at doing it AoE wise, it has to be quick, just get the damage out, get in and come out, because you never know what happened. I'm going to put it on that respective rank. And any people that play SWTOR, even for a somewhat decent amount of time, you're gonna know where some of these certain classes are gonna go. Anyways, if you guys enjoy these type of videos and like them, be sure to like and subscribe. We're gonna make sure to have a good fun time on this one, and we're gonna go from top to bottom, so we're not gonna change anything about it. We're actually gonna zoom it in, that way you guys can see it's really good. Ooh, actually, hold on one second. Yeah, there we go. Turn off that dark mode. All right, so ranking first, we have Immortal. So in terms of Immortal, the way I'm gonna rank the tanks is like, can they, in the short amount of time that they have, be really annoying? And honestly, if I'm gonna rank these all together. So like, what's most annoying to, like, you're gonna do the most amount of stuff, APM per minute, versus another class. That's how I'm gonna rank it. A tank can have a better advantage than a DPS'er. Going on that type of mark of this class can really wreak havoc in a short amount of time. I think Immortal Jug easily goes in A. With their ability to like AoE taunt, do their crushing blow, which does a crud ton of damage, especially if you get people in. You're able to CC a lot of people with your force push, your backhand, and your force choke. You have 3 CCs. One of them is a push, direct the battle to go a certain way, on top of having immunity to CC when you get your force leap off or your force jump off. So with that in mind, you can control how the battle goes and keep yourself alive, so where it's really like a nuisance to go after you. It's more so smart to go after someone else. That's just how the tank roll goes. So I put that in A tier. Vengeance, it's gonna go below A. I think as the tier list will go on, I might rank it lower, but if you're able to get your stuff off, you can be a real havoc. Very short burst class, and really in the AoE spec department. Immortal is really mainly single target, but has some AoE potential. Vengeance is the full AoE spec, but you can go single target, but that's just not the most optimal way. Rage Jug is in a very tough category where if I'm gonna have to, you can wreak havoc big time, but you have to be an expert at the spec. I really don't recommend people coming into the class thinking they're gonna just go crazy, because you don't have nearly the much survivability as Vengeance, and definitely not Immortal, because Vengeance has their, not only do they have ranged defense, they have blood rage or whatever it's called. However many dots you have on heals the player, and it can go up to 20% of your health, so you can heal and it can be as quick as possible. However many dots you spread lowers down your blood rage. So more dots you spread equals more times you're able to cast your blood rage, equals more 20% HP you're able to get. So yeah, that's Vengeance has way more burst, crazy parse potential when compared to Rage. Rage, you have to specialize in the spec. Fury, it'd be disrespectful. I wish there was a C+ tier. This is gonna be high C, but low B. Fury is just really hard, but if you're able to really find the parse on that, you can do a lot. Basically, you need cauterized coronary, the tactical, in order to do insane amount of burst on this class. Your Rage Crush on this class is just, you're just tickling them when compared to Rage, at least. Next up is Carnage. Carnage is, you can be very parsy on Carnage. It is insane. The immunity you have from your class specific or discipline specific passive abilities, you can have a crazy uptime, and it'd be really hard to CC or like stop you. Carnage is just very high A tier on the parsing spec, and this is basically for PvP, definitely in that single target category. Annihilation, in terms of parsing, I gotta give it B, because Annihilation, while it's like a little brother of Vengeance, I just say it doesn't have that same control where you can, if there's only one Annihilation spec or player, you can kind of control a single annihilation, but when there's two, that's where it becomes a little bit harder. Mainly what makes annihilation so troubling is with its trauma. So it can control how much you're healing. It's like a 20% healing reduction, so it's really busted with that. Next up is deception. A good deception player can go a long way in parsing, in terms of quick burst parse. Doesn't matter if it's AoE or single target, it can go a long way. I think it goes definitely disrespectful to go high A tier, but definitely that A- tier below Carnage. Like, I don't have an actual A+, A-. It'd kind of be boring like that. So that's why I do it like this. So keep in mind, this is A- deception, A-. Next up, the darkness. In terms of controlling an area, it really only has good self-reliance. You kind of have to spec, are you going to be helping your teammates? Are you going to be being annoyance and mainly being like protecting yourself, but being annoyance, making it hard for people to go after you or your teammates, because you're CCing them, you're keeping the area a shroud of darkness around them, making it hard to hit your teammates. I think that's how, basically, from my opinion, darkness is like, it kind of has to be very singular dependent. You have to like spec into what you want to do, while many of these other tanks, you can kind of control how you play just in your play style. This one you kind of have to focus on one. I guess it would be a B+, so I put it at B+. Hatred, it's a for sure B+, below darkness. It's parse. You can definitely get a darkness hatred player out of there if you prioritize them. The same can't be said to deception, because if they go on the target that their whole team is agreeing on, there's going to be just too much burst to handle. With hatred, the burst is kind of really, you can predict it and you can counter against it. Deception, not as much. But not to say it's not a crazy class, it doesn't have crazy burst potential, but usually over a course of time you can get that crazy burst. It's not going to hit right away. Corruption, I'd put it at A-. It'd be between Carnage and Deception. You can get a lot of burst potential with Corruption, but it's not going to be nearly as good as its Merc Commando counterpart, but it definitely gets the job done. Lightning, I'd put it in that B+ area. Like I said, it's really hard to overcome a tank. You really have to just be on another level in order to better a tank. But I definitely say, I don't know. Actually, now I think about the Thundering Blast, and it's like crazy high alacrity. But the problem with its crazy high alacrity, it's not matched with its damage. It's actually, thankfully, balanced, unlike some dog shit class engineering. So it's like actually reasonable, but it's not in a bad state. This is really like a B+ area, the threshold of B+. And there's nothing wrong with a B+. An A to a B+ is really good. Madness, oh, but yeah, Madness is busted right now. Busted as can be. Definitely putting a Madness at an A- area. It's burst with its self-healing. I'm not supposed to include the self-healing. How much threat it can be while staying alive as a Madness class, it is insane right now. Definitely not above Corruption. A healer, it's really hard to beat out a healer in a tank, like, those specialized classes. IO, Ordnance, or Assault Specialist, I think it's called. It's really that stoner class that people just go crazy on. I don't know how. It's just something about people that get high in IO that just a buff. And you got to think about the player in mind when you're playing that class. A high IO player is gonna go crazy. It somehow sneaks in to between Madness and Deception. It's just really up there. Really, really good class. Oh yeah, Bodyguard though, this is going, I'm gonna ego it. It's A+. Bodyguard is really just that good healer spec. It's that nerdy healer spec. If you get someone to play it and really master it, it is crazy. Just a decent type of tank or a really good DPS'er can really a Bodyguard's not gonna die if they have either one. It's already really good solo. Arsenal, just like I did get buffed, so this is like pre-buffed Arsenal. The thing is like Arsenal Merc players are gonna get their either their damage or healing off because they just have so much survivability. It's almost kind of dumb to go after them. Damage off, yeah. B+ area. This is the new threshold for B+. Yeah, just B area for sure. These are all B class. This is B+. Shield Tech. Oh my gosh, that is a good shield tech, there is just nothing you could do about it. In that, it's not gonna have its short burst. They are the short burst. They are the moment. They are the spotlight. Yeah, future JB, after all that glaze I just did for shield tech, shield specialist. Yeah, we're just gonna put that over there. That looks a lot better. All right, on to the video. I don't know. Next we have Powertech. I'm not gonna lie, I think people sleep on Powertech. Powertech is in a class of its own. I think Pyro definitely deserves S tier because you gotta think, there's not a lot of PvE players that go into PvP with that class specialized down pack with its like most optimal peak AoE damage. If you go into a game with Pyrotech, it's gonna be leaving with hella burn dots. Where if you don't kill them, your team is gonna kill them. Any semi-decent team is killing the enemies that Pyro puts dots on. What's it? Vanguard? Powertech Vanguard is in a beautiful spot right now, and it's not in a bad. And the crazy thing, it's not in a bad S tier. It's a good S tier. The skill, the cap alone is just what easily puts Powertech Vanguard in the high A tier to S tiers. It deserves its spot. Next up, we have AP. It is the king of burst. When you think of burst, you think of AP. It's just they're interchangeable. When you think of freaking hell on earth, you think of AP, because though you can interchange. Bro, I did a 30-mile run that was AP Powertech on earth. It is just that similar. All right, I'm gonna keep on going through these. Next up, we have concealment. It's really in an A plus. I really want to say it's an A plus area in terms of burst. I don't know. You guys can let me know. But in terms of getting out its damage and being crazy, I think no. Yeah, put it in A plus tier. Yeah, I think this is perfect. Behind Vengeance, but ahead of Carnage. I think concealment is really good. I think it's just such a difficult spec to remix that you kind of have to like go by the book of how you do your rotation on it. When you're able to control that rotation, it is insane. Lethality, in terms of getting your burst off, I mean, technically it's not burst though, but lethality is it's ahead of Vengeance without a doubt. You don't even need to be in the area to put your dots on there, your burst on there. For that, lethality goes in A, but you're not gonna notice it. You're not gonna notice its presence. It's gonna be undercover present because of how discreet it is with casting your dots on as lethality, or even Scraper for that matter, or whatever. Is it Ruffian? Next up, medicine. Wait, I can't believe. Wait, I think Loki, I need to look at the corruption again. Let me look over corruption. I think I accidentally put Carnage above, but corruption definitely goes above Carnage, I think. But these are like A plus in terms of getting their burst off. That one is another one that's gonna I'm gonna get flack for that. I don't know how to put these. Concealment has trauma. It goes ahead of corruption, but if it doesn't, then corruption is, and like Vengeance and lethality are A plus in terms of getting its burst or AoE single target. I guess there's kind of a bias, but like, I mean, it's kind of obvious single target to be ahead of AoE, except if you're AP, single target and be in these high tiers. But I think I put this right there. But medicine, I don't know. Post buff medicine, I want to put it above Carnage. Yeah, I put medicine in that A area. These are all, I don't think any of these are A minus tier. There we go. I think that's better. I think it's concealment, carnage, madness, and then medicine, then IO, deception. Medicine, IO, and deception being an A minus. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Next up we have marksman. Marksman got actually a buff, thankfully. They got a buff. I used to have him at C tier because his damage was so pitiful, but nowadays, just for being a sniper alone at this day and age, yeah, it goes here, and then these are here. All right, that's the video. We're not gonna talk about those rest. We're gonna keep it like this, and then keep it pushing with this tier list. So that's gonna be it for this tier list, which would be, hold up, let me change the title. All right, there we go. I renamed it to what I prefer to call it. Disregard what this says. Actually, all right, that's good enough. This is the SWTOR PvE PvP class spec burst tier list. So what is gonna go in, do crazy amount of damage, and then get out, and then make their damage, tankiness, healingness be known. This is the class 100% We're gonna have AP at S tier, best of the best. They're gonna make their presence be known no matter what. Pyro at next at this at S next at S we have Powertech, then engineering, and then Virulence. Virulence is not as bad, but yeah. Then we have Bodyguard at A+, Shield Tech A+, Immortal A+, Lethality, Vengeance, Corruption. Then in the A tier we kind of have, well, Bodyguard is closer to S, and same with Shield Tech, but they're in the A area, A+ tier area. Then we have Concealment, Carnage, Madness at that A tier. Then we have Medicine, IO, Marksman, and Deception at A-, or Darkness, Lightning, and Arsenal in that B+. Arsenal's definitely in that B, perfect B tier. It is just mid. Mid. It might be higher though. I don't know. Not mid, but like just standard. Then you have Hatred. No, these are all just, I think honestly it's just Darkness, Lightning, and Arsenal in that B+. Yeah, and then Hatred, Rage, and Annihilation in that B tier. And at C tier we have Fury. And it hurts me to say this because I am a Rage single target fiend. Single target with a little bit AoE. I do go in Rage Crush, but my single target is deadly. But it's definitely in that B tier. It has fallen off from grace as things have just gotten crazier and kind of cringier with like the amount of, not even just slowness, but the root. Because roots don't count towards your white bar. So it makes being able to actually play the game so difficult because this game, the devs at SWTOR live in their own bubble and they don't know nothing about PvP. They have zero information of PvP. Only doing buffs just to make it feel alive, but outside of that they have nothing about PvP. They don't play it at all. We won't see a PvP video from anyone, the SWTOR team, until Jesus Christ himself comes down onto Earth. Honestly, at that'd be the only time I'd ever suspect maybe would see the devs at SWTOR actually play PvP again. Anyways, though, with that being said, I think this was a nice little video. Let me know where you guys think these burst classes going and doing their damage and coming out classes would be ranked. And yeah, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. Anyway, with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care out. Peace. Bye.